welcome to Martell's Movie Madness. This is your host, as always, Ryan Martell, and I am here on this week with Dylan McKinnish, formerly of the Blood Libel and Pig Mountain. We talk a little bit about David Lynch, and I'm not gonna lie, we mostly talk about wrestling and music on this episode. There's movie talk whenever I can squeeze it in, but it is a lot of tangential stuff going on here. Of course, before we get into the interview, I've got dates to plug and the What You Watching segment. Not a lot going on the What You Watching segment or the dates to plug this week. I've only got two dates. I've got February 11th at VizArt Video is the Cult Movies in the Cave, Bad CGI Sharks. And February 12th at VizArt Video is the Martell's Movie Madness Live. It is going to be a mystery movie with the theme of Black History Month. So come on out. It could be anything from Petey Wheatstraw to Tales from the Hood and anything in between. So come on out. Those are both free. Of course, donations are encouraged for VizArt Video to help them keep doing cool events like this. Now that VizArt Video is a total nonprofit, it is going to be a lot more cool stuff happening over there, hopefully. But yeah, that's all I got for the dates this week. Of course, for more updates on stuff like that, follow us on social media at Martell's Movie Madness on Instagram and Facebook. And at Movie Madness 69 on Twitter. Now we're going into the What You Watching segment. Pick of the week is going to be Zack and Miri Make a Porno. I just rewatched it last night on Netflix. It's a lot funnier than people give it credit for, I think. It's a very underrated movie. I gave it a 4 out of 5 on the Martell scale. So go check that one out if you haven't already. If you have and you haven't watched it in a while, go ahead and revisit it. It's definitely worth taking a look at again. Another thing I watched on Netflix was What Did Jack Do? It's a David Lynch short where David Lynch plays a detective who is interviewing or interrogating a monkey who is possibly committed a crime, a murder. It's very entertaining, very weird, very David Lynch, and I gave it a 4 out of 5 on the Martell scale. Next up, I went to the theater and saw The Turning. This is my new release. The Turning was okay. It had some legit creepy moments. It had a lot of ways it could have went that would have been very good and satisfying. It did not go that way, any of those ways. It went a completely 360 from where it needed to go to be a satisfying ending. But all in all, it wasn't a terrible movie. It wasn't a great movie. It was just okay. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. Last but not least, I watched Dead Snow 2, Red vs. Dead, which we kind of talk about on this one, I think. That might have been something we just brought up off record. Dead Snow 2, Red vs. Dead. I honestly think it's a better movie than the first Dead Snow. It ups the splatter, it ups the gore, it ups the comedy, it ups everything that the first one had, and it's just an overall fantastic movie. I gave it a 4 out of 5 on the Martell scale. So go ahead and go check that one out. That one was one that I rented at VizArt Video. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere, but you can definitely check it out somewhere, I'm sure. So yeah, like I said, those are all I got this week for the What You Watchings. Pretty sure this interview is a little bit longer than most of them, so the short intro will be good for that. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Here's Dylan McKinnish.
Episode of your show. He'll be like, who's this fucking boring ass white guy putting me to sleep?
No, that's me.
Dylan McKinnish talks you to sleep.
That's good. That's a good show.
I'm gonna try not to manhandle the mic stand either, to where you're getting all this
don't manhandle the mic stand, and don't mansplain anything on the show.
I won't transplain either.
Don't do that either.
Seeing as how I'm Sis, so that doesn't work.
All right. So we're here with Dylan McKinnish,
Yep.
formerly of the Blood Libel,
Yeah.
former drummer for Pig Mountain,
Yeah.
good buddy band of Dr. Teeth back in the day.
Oh, dude, I fucking miss Dr. Teeth.
That one dude said on that event page for Breed, what is it? No, it was
It might have been Breedfest.
Breedfest. Yeah, Breedfest. He was like, Pig Mountain and Dr. Teeth. What in the cousin fucking Alabama is going on at this show?
Like, yeah, dude.
It's like, yeah, we're fucking from the woods, man.
I mean, what the fuck do you want? Like,
Some of our family members have 3 teeth all together.
I'm from Gaston County, dude. Like, I've lived in Gaston County my entire life, so I mean, I don't even try to hide it at this point. I'm just fucking white trash through and through. I live in a trailer. I watch wrestling, and like, yeah, I don't give a fuck.
I mean, my Instagram handle is Trailer Trash God, so I don't hide it either. So yeah, like, I don't know if you've ever listened to the show before.
I've listened to the episode with Mr. John.
Okay, so you know we do an interview, and I like to start out by asking everybody what you've been watching.
What have I been watching? Oh Jesus. I've been a fucking jock here lately. I've been watching a lot of sports.
Oh man,
I know. I've been watching football.
that's surprising coming from you.
I know, but I don't know, dude. I enjoy a good athletic competition. I don't know why. I just started watching football recently and getting it more into it.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's weird being a pro wrestling fan, and then like this shit is like everyone already knows that it's like fake and everything. But dude, if you ever, or even like MMA, you ever bring up like the fact that UFC is a work?
oh yeah.
To
People
fucking-
don't like it.
Oh goddamn, they get fucking
They get
livid.
mad as hell.
It's like, dude, have you watched how they're presenting this though? It's seriously like watching a Memphis promo from the
Yeah.
70s. Like, I feel like I'm watching fucking Buzz Sawyer shit talk somebody. Like,
There
when
was
I watch
a-
Conor McGregor.
There was a pay-per-view last weekend, and there was a fight with Holly Holm and I can't remember who she fought, but they were like up against the cage,
yeah.
and I was like, look, they're calling spots.
calling spots?
They're calling spots.
The rest
and
of it are
it's
like, you
like-
go home in 2 minutes.
My brother and his friends did not find that very funny.
No, dude, I've done that before. Like, mentioned that to people at my old job. Like, one dude who was like, he'd mentioned, he's like, no, I don't watch wrestling, man. It's fucking fake. I watch real sports. And I was like, really? Do you only watch documentaries too?
Yeah.
Like, I watch movies, man. Movies are fucking fake. I'm like, whatever, dude. Loser.
He doesn't watch any TV shows.
Yeah,
or anything.
exactly.
It's just the news.
Yeah.
The news
Just
and
and
documentaries.
fucking National Geographic shit. Like, I only watch the news and fucking Arctic Fox specials.
Are we gonna count the Price is Right as real? Because that, I mean, maybe.
I mean, it might be a work, dude. I feel like
I don't know.
Drew Carey's got some carny roots. He was in the Royal Rumble one year.
The guitar player for Killswitch Engage won the showcase one time on
Holy shit, dude.
The Price is Right. Yeah,
Fucking funny. Which one? Adam?
yeah.
Like, he fucking needs the money.
Right? Yeah.
He's fucking loaded from like recording like Norma Jean and Unearthed and shit.
Yeah. Him. Who else? There was somebody else notable that was on.
Aaron Paul from Breaking
Yeah,
Bad was
from
on there,
Breaking
and
Bad.
he made it to the very end and lost by like $40. He overbid by like $40.
It's fucking wild.
I do go back and watch Aaron Paul on The Price is Right because, like, dude, he is like out of his fucking mind on that show. And like, I think I remember seeing that and like, isn't that the guy from the Thoughtless video, the corn? He goes to the prom with that hot chick and shows all the preppy kids what's
The
what.
dude from the Honey Smacks commercial,
Oh my
or was it Honeycombs?
Dude, he's in a on me and Mark's series where we watch like old commercials. I can't fucking tell you how many times we have seen Aaron Paul and Johnny Knoxville just randomly fucking pop up in these like commercials from the 90s. Like, Knoxville was like all over like 90s commercials. He's in like several Sprite commercials.
Yeah, Johnny Knoxville was the guy for a minute.
Yep, and then I think me and him talked about that last time. Like, dude, they're seriously making a fucking Jackass 4.
Oh man,
It's
that's
gonna
gonna be
be-
so hard to
It's
watch.
gonna be sad.
It's gonna be a bunch of dudes gagging and throwing up because they can't do the gross shit
Yeah.
they used to do when they were fucked up on drugs.
I was about to say, yeah, because they're all like sober now, so like really we're gonna get like Johnny Knoxville trying to like
Yeah.
do some crazy stunt. He's gonna be like, filming's gonna be postponed for months because he's gonna be fucking injured.
Yeah,
Uh,
they're all in their fucking 40s, almost 50. What is your earliest movie memory?
Jesus.
Could be something you saw on, like a movie you caught on TV, or
The earliest movie memory I have is watching Terminator 2 on VHS when we had rented it, and I remember it was the part where T-1000 gets blown apart with that fucking grenade round,
Mhm.
and his like head's just like hanging on a part of his body. He's like, "Ah!" And I remember that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And I also remember obsessively watching The Wizard of Oz when I was a kid. I still
yeah.
still love The Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz is sick. I got the Muppets Wizard of Oz like last year. Yeah, I was on a random VHS hunt with this girl I was seeing at the time, and she actually pointed it out. It was a DVD, but still, I was like, I gotta have that. It's Wizard of Oz. It's
Yeah,
Muppets. It's Muppets and Wizard of Oz at the same time.
I mean, I haven't seen that, but I would actually totally watch that. That and I did watch Return to Oz not too long ago. The one
Oh,
like, from
yeah.
Lisa Balk. Dude, that
I love
That
that.
movie's fucked
Yeah.
up. I can't believe that
It's
was made for
good.
kids.
Yeah, it's a dark one, but it's very fucking good.
And I think it's a Disney property, so
Yeah.
like, you might get that on Disney Plus.
Totally is Disney. I don't know if it's on Disney Plus.
No, it's probably one of those that want to sweep under the rug along with Song of the South.
I don't know. Well, it's not quite that bad.
No,
Jesus Christ.
but they definitely don't want to acknowledge
They're
it.
definitely not paying any attention to that or Song of the South.
A commercial block that we watched at Mark's not too long ago from like 1985 had a fucking trailer for Song of the South in it. It was
Yeah.
like getting like re-released in theaters in the 80s.
I mean,
like, dude, what the fuck?
I had like a Disney's Greatest Hits tape as a kid, like a cassette tape, and you
Yeah.
listen to in the car, and like Song of the South, like the Zippity Doo Dah
Zippity
was
Doo Dah.
on there, and
Yeah.
like I didn't think anything of it because I'd never seen the movie.
Yeah.
Still haven't seen it, but like it's like, wow, this movie's a racist movie, and I've never seen it, never. But like that raises the question though, like, am I a racist if I want to see it, just for like
No.
historical purposes?
No, I mean, that'd be like considering yourself a racist for like watching a Holocaust documentary. You know,
Yeah.
Just because you're wanting to learn about it doesn't mean you're, you know.
So
Support
is it acceptable for a white man to seek out the birth of a nation?
Oh shit. Well, fun fact, that actually got a Criterion release.
Oh wow!
Because and
Yeah.
it got some controversy because the whole point of Criterion releases is like it's films that had a huge cultural impact.
Yeah,
And that's the thing. Birth of a Nation, yes, racist piece of shit movie, but also
it did have a huge.
It
Cultural
was like
impact.
it was one of the highest grossing films of the of the time.
It's considered one of the first American horror movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was also one of the, I believe it was the first talkie that was like
Oh, I don't know.
that was like released like. Oh wait, no, I might be getting my racist movies mixed up. I might be thinking of The Jazz Singer,
Oh,
because The Jazz Singer was
is
one
that a
of the first-
racist movie too?
Yeah, that's one where Al Jolson wears blackface.
Oh, okay.
And says "mammy" a bunch, but when you dig into it, it's actually about how like Jewish immigrants were losing their identity and had to steal other identities to find their own. It's actually got like a really deep meaning, but all anyone remembers is Al Jolson in blackface.
That seems like the most memorable thing.
That's all anyone's gonna remember from it. 'cause
I mean, there's a movie called Soul Man that exists with C. Thomas Howell,
Yes, I'm aware of
and
that.
I'm just like, how did this get made in the '80s?
I know, and Botch wrote
In
a
the
song
80s.
about it. C. Thomas Howell as the soul.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah.
That's fucking Ponyboy
That
Curtis
song
in
is fucking
blackface,
sick.
dude. Because Botch is fucking sick.
Jesus Christ.
If it wasn't for, I think I read an article not too long ago that like Botch should have been as big as the Dillinger Escape Plan.
Dude, Botch. Without Botch, there would be no Norma Jean.
Norma Jean or like,
none of that shit.
or like yeah, because like no one was doing this like, hey, let's take metalcore and make it fucking weird.
Mm.
Because like man, like it's really weird to probably gotta go off on a tangent here, but it is really weird to go back and like look at late '90s hardcore, like watch like
Yeah.
Hellfest '99, and there's all these dudes in like baggy jerseys, baggy ass shorts, and like fucking dunks. They're all everyone's
Yeah.
wearing a fucking pair of
Yeah.
Nike dunks. Fast forward 3 years later, when 18 Visions is fucking skyrocketed, and now you got a
Yeah.
whole room filled with kids.
Fucking skinny jeans and the swooped hair and
Yep, wearing eyeliner and shit. And
Yeah.
when 18 Visions did that, they got called every homophobic slur in the book.
Yeah.
And, like were ridiculed, but they were so heavy that no one could fucking deny it. And then yeah, everyone started ripping off their entire look, and it got really weird. I remember going to hardcore shows and feeling like the outcast because I wasn't like super glammed out, because I would just
Yeah.
be wearing like jeans and an Atreyu shirt. I'm ashamed to say that I was really into Atreyu.
yeah, I think I had an Atreyu shirt too.
Oh, dude,
so you're in good
I
company.
had several. I had the one that was like, it was just the Bacardi logo that just
Yeah.
said Atreyu.
I had two not one, 2 Avenged Sevenfold T-shirts. So
Yeah, see, Avenged Sevenfold was they were a bit after my time because I remember like checking them out and I was like, wait, this just sounds like Motley Crue. Like, where's
well,
the
that fucking that
where's
first,
the-
that
where's the heavy
album,
part?
The Unholy Confessions,
Yeah.
was actually pretty metalcore. But like after that, it was just like it was like Metallica post haircut.
Exactly, because I
Yeah.
remember thinking that I was like, this is that band everyone's like loving right now. Like they're good, but I don't get why hardcore kids are all over it. There's no breakdowns.
I don't at all. I did not. After that one album, there was no appeal for me.
Did you
at all.
happen to hear when 18 Visions did their comeback album not too long ago?
No.
Oh, dude, it's
Oh, actually, yeah, I did.
it's they're just like
Because they had that one music video with Andy from Every Time I Die in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who is now a fucking AEW contracted
Dude,
wrestler? which
yeah,
is
right.
Fucking weird.
That's fucking insane.
And did you happen to see their debut
Yeah.
when the crowd was like,
I
what?
felt really bad for the crowd for them because of the crowd, but
The
like,
crowd was like, "Who are these people?" And even Shivani and like Jim Ross are like, "Who?" Like,
yeah, they should have.
fucking
They
buried
should
them.
have. They should have put them out. They should have debuted them in New York because they were gonna be in New York.
Yeah, exactly.
Like 2 weeks later.
Yeah, they should have debuted them in New York, and like, yeah, you got to get to a crowd that like already
That knows,
who
yeah,
they
knows
are.
who they are.
Because to me, I was like, wait, there's just like people still make debuts coming up through a
Yeah.
fucking hole in the ring.
I mean, it was cool. I liked that part.
It felt very dusty, like
And
you
then,
could tell.
but
It
by
was-
the end of it, though, people were reacting to it. So
Yeah.
that it just takes. I guess it just takes a minute for the casual audience to kind of register.
I didn't know who they are. I was just like, wait, is that Andy from Every Time I Die? What the
But
fuck?
back in the day, dude, like back in the '90s, like it didn't matter who the fuck it was. If it was somebody coming out from the ring, you were fucking going off.
Oh yeah, dude, like
So
whenever
you were blowing your fucking shit.
Like
on
when
that.
Kane debuted at that Hell in a Cell match,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
did the Doug Furnace spot where they ripped the cage off.
nobody knew who Kane was.
No, but it, like the
Well-
only reason you did though is because of Jim Ross saying that's gotta be Kane.
No, it was Vince McMahon.
Either
Yeah.
one, yeah, either one of them
That's
saying,
gotta be Kane.
But with Butcher and the Blade show up, they're like, who are these guys? Like,
Excalibur, he was the only one that
yeah,
knew.
he's like, oh, that's the Butcher and the Blade.
Butcher and the Blade.
Like, yeah, it was a weird debut.
Somebody said that if they were going to do like cold debuts like that, they should give it a week before they actually say who it is.
Yeah, definitely.
Which I guess works. That's neither here nor there. This is a movie podcast.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot.
No, it's good. We do this like me and John got on, fucking, what was it? We got on Victor Salva, and we stayed on that shit. That and James Gunn for like a minute.
I mean, it's hard for because I don't really get to talk about wrestling with that many people.
Yeah.
So whenever I can talk about wrestling with someone,
Yeah.
that's all we're gonna fucking talk about now.
Dude, I want to do an episode talking about how movies and wrestling are the same thing.
Absolutely. There's a lot of parallels too, man. Like being in like a touring band
Yeah,
and being like an independent wrestler, it's
Oh, yeah.
basically the same fucking
it's the
thing.
exact same thing.
Like you watch the Wrestling Road Diaries, it's like, dude, they're crashing at fans' houses and they're like, we can do laundry? Fuck yes. Like
Yeah.
it's exactly like being on tour, like taking a shower, like doing laundry is like a fucking privilege.
Do you remember the first movie you ever saw in theaters?
Oh Jesus. Man. Yes, I do. I was 4 or 5 years old, and it was An American Tail, Fievel Goes West.
Nice.
I barely remember anything about it, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I saw The Little Mermaid in theaters too. Like, because I
Sounds right.
was a young kid around the time of that like early '90s Disney
Yeah,
Renaissance.
the revival.
Yeah, because I think I saw Beauty and the Beast in theaters too.
I definitely remember seeing Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in theaters, but I was like nowhere near alive when that movie came out
yeah, this
originally.
movie was like in like the 50s.
So it was like during that that run like you're talking about where they were revamping
just
all this stuff.
revamping it. I would love to watch that now, just because of like how amazing the fact like that's all hand drawn cell
Yeah,
animation.
yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous, dude. That's something I kind of miss about like modern animation in general. Like I appreciate, like my sister and my brother-in-law like still kind of poke fun at me because the first time I was watching Frozen, I was just like, man, the rendering on that water is really good. Like the water looks so
Yeah.
fucking good. You don't have any idea how hard it is to animate water. And yeah, but like that's what I'm noticing more than like the characters or how funny
Oh,
the
it's
jokes
insane,
are.
dude. The hair in this
Yeah.
shit.
We watched
When in the Incredibles, they did like a whole little
Yeah.
mini documentary about how it takes like 6 months just to do the hair and things.
last time I was over at my sister's house, we were watching Moana,
Yeah.
with her kids, which I didn't know had The Rock in it, by the way. But,
Yeah.
But I was just really impressed the whole time. I was like, dude, the way that they're doing their hair, like, that's what I'm more amazed by than, like, all these, like, crazy character designs and shit. It's like, no, the way their hair is, like, moving with
Yeah.
the wind, that's fucking amazing, because it is so hard to animate.
If we could get them to apply that kind of love and time to a wrestling video game.
That won't ever happen. That won't ever happen, because all we got now is fucking WWE
Because the
2K.
because the hair on wrestling video games always is
Oh, dude.
fucking terrible.
Dude, even on, like, the really good ones, like some of those, like, PlayStation 2, like, SmackDown games, which are, like, some of my favorite games to
Yeah.
play. Yeah, you get a fucking guy with long hair. Every time they run, it's, like, glitching through their face.
Mhm.
It's like, it just looks bad. And from what I've heard, the 2K games are no better.
Well, the 2K games are fine.
I'd say they're glitchy as fuck.
They're glitchy as shit.
Which is...
But it all depends on, like, I think it all depends on, like, how, I don't know, mine, I haven't had much problem with mine,
Yeah.
but that being said, I did decide not to get 2020 because they just haven't changed enough, like,
That's what I've
in
heard.
the gameplay.
I've heard it's basically just like a roster update, more or less, which is
Yeah.
kind of the flaw with most of those 2K games is like it'll still have the same engine from like 3 years before. They just like update
Yeah.
the roster.
And they don't give you enough of, like, they've never given us a good career mode, except for, like, I think that one of the Raw versus SmackDowns had a really good career mode.
Yes, I do remember. I think it was
And
like
then, like,
2006.
yeah, and then some of the early, like, the SmackDown Shut Your Mouth and Here Comes the Pain.
Here Comes the Pain is like one of
They
my
had
favorite
really
games.
good. They had really good story career modes, but, like, these new ones, just the career mode, the story mode, it all fucking sucks.
Well, and I've heard like what they're doing a lot now with like career modes in games is like they're trying to make it like so behind the scenes that it like ruins kayfabe in general. Like you got to work your way up from NXT,
Yeah.
and you got to get over, and all it's like you're using all these like behind the scenes terms for a fucking video game. Like I don't think like an 8-year-old playing WWE 2K is like smart to all these insider
Nah.
terms. I hope not,
Yeah.
because I think.
Well, I mean, I don't fucking. We don't. I mean,
Well, I mean that's something that me and Mark.
I don't even know an 8-year-old, so I couldn't even tell
That's
you.
good. Like that's something that me and Mark try to do whenever we go to like local wrestling shows. We try to be kayfabe dad, because we don't want to be like, oh man, totally botched that. We're just like, oh no, keep going, guy. Like we don't want to ruin this
Yeah.
shit for kids. And be a dick. Like oh, he totally botched that plancha. Like there's a fucking the 10-year-old kid. Like
Botched to
what?
plancha. That's an Eminem rhyme. Botched to plancha.
Oh god, didn't Eminem have a new album come out and then he
Yeah, it wasn't good.
and he had to like release a statement like defending it basically.
The whole album is him defending his last album, and then he has to release a statement defending this album. and I'm just like,
Jesus, just hang it up, dude. Just count your money.
no, it's okay though. It's not terrible. It's not the worst thing in the world. He did have a song about his dad and a song about his stepdad, and I'm just like, okay, you want to kill your stepdad, and you want to piss on your dad's grave. You're 50 years old, like
It's like, dude,
older than that maybe
it's like
even.
Cage, like he wants to talk about how Cage, like, because remember how Cage like was like, yeah, this dude's just ripping me off. Now Eminem is just even furthermore ripping off Cage because Cage was putting out albums about pissing on his stepfather's grave in like 2001. Like, dude, he already got that shit out of the system.
It's insane, but I did like the album cover because it has that. It is an homage to Alfred Hitchcock's music to die by, to be murdered by,
You would not expect that from Eminem,
Yeah.
a fucking Hitchcock reference.
and it does have it has Alfred Hitchcock like skits throughout the thing too.
I used
which
to
is
work.
pretty cool.
I used to work with a dude who was like serious die-hard Trump guy. Like had Trump socks,
Oh,
like the hat, and like all this shit. And he was like, "Yeah, man, Eminem's the greatest rapper of all time." I'm like, "Dude, I guarantee Eminem is the only fucking rapper you ever listen to." And he's like, "Why?"
Dude.
Man? And he was like, "You should love Eminem, man. He hates Trump." I'm like, "That is not a fucking qualifier for me to like somebody."
that's not a selling point. You have to actually be good at doing
Yeah.
what you do. Still, like I'll give Eminem those early years because he
Yeah.
put out some good shit, but. As problematic as it would be if it was released today,
Oh,
it was
Jesus.
still fun to listen to in the 97
Yeah.
when I was 7 years old.
Goddamn, make me feel old.
Fuck, what was I gonna say though? I had something on my mind about Eminem or something related.
What
to
about how 8 Mile could be called White Privilege the musical?
it. Oh man,
Yeah.
God.
That's basically what it is. Like, yeah, man, he's gonna go in and he's just gonna take it back for the white man. That's more or less what the film feels like when you watch it now.
I've never looked at it through that lens before.
I
mean,
watched it not too long ago, and I was like, Jesus, this seriously just feels like, colonize an industry. That's kind of what it feels like. It's like he's just going in and he's reclaiming hip hop for the white man. Ugh. At least that's how I feel. But I'm also a woke SJW beta cuck, so
Yeah.
way to kill the flow of this shit. We just pour more
segue.
funny down my head. Yeah, pour more funny down my head.
So you like horror movies, right?
Yes, to an extent.
Okay. What are some of your favorite horror movies?
This is going to be a very mixed bag. Repulsion by Problematic Polanski, one of my favorites.
Mhm.
The original Evil Dead. The Exorcist and Hereditary. Those are like
Those are
probably
good ones.
Those are probably my four big ones. If I had to make it five, let's throw a shitty one in there for good measure. I don't know. I have a soft spot in my heart for the Blair Witch Project 2.
Okay.
That movie is a pile of shit.
You had me. I was like, he said he was going to throw a shitty one in there because you said Blair Witch Project. Then you said 2, and I was like, okay.
Exactly, because I enjoy the first one.
There's our clincher.
But the second one, have you ever actually read into what the original premise of Blair Witch 2 was going to be?
No.
That it was going to be a completely different film where it was more focused on the cultural obsession of Blair Witch and how these people kind of lost their minds thinking that it was so real.
Yeah.
It turned out, but what happened is when he presented it to, I think it was Artisan Entertainment that did that one, and they were like, "What is this? We want gore in this." So the dude seriously on the final day of production goes into his backyard and shoots some throwaway gore scenes that end up becoming the main source of the fucking movie. And they also did little things that changed the whole tone of the film. I love Marilyn Manson, but Disposable Teens is one of the worst fucking songs I've ever heard in my life. And the film opens with Disposable Teens playing. Originally in the screenplay, it called to be playing Frank Sinatra's Witchcraft. And there's a...
That's not hip enough for
the
early 2000s.
We're putting POD on this soundtrack where the goth chick's about to run over some fucking ghost children in the road.
Yes.
Can't have Frank Sinatra up in this shit.
No, fuck that.
But
Get that out of here.
the original intent was and a guy on YouTube recut the opening sequence with Frank Sinatra's Witchcraft over it, and it's like a flyover shot of these woods and Maryland. It's a really, really great shot, and then he puts what they ended up going with Marilyn Manson's Disposable Teens. He's like, see how this immediately changes your entire perception of the film? You don't take it seriously with this throwaway Manson song that I swear is only put on Hollywood as satire. Because, the chorus for the song is, yeah, 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 yeah. I swear when Manson presented that album to the label, they were like, we need a single on this.
Was Disposable... That was the one that Christopher Daniels came out to, wasn't it?
Yes, it was! When he was the Fallen Angel.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I remember that.
Had to bring it back around to wrestling somehow.
Of course. I'm glad to see him, getting some respect, too, and, actually... Because they're actually, commentators are putting him over as, a dude that's been at this shit forever.
Yeah, I don't think he would have... I think even if WWE had signed him or brought him in for whatever, I don't think he would have gotten the respect he would have gotten anywhere else.
Well, no,
WWE.
especially not in fucking Vince McMahon's WWE.
No.
He's too small. He would have been jobbing out to fucking Bobby Lashley on SmackDown in 2005 or some
Jesus
bullshit.
Christ.
And they're still trying to shove Bobby Lashley down our fucking throats.
Listen, I love Bobby Lashley. Don't get me wrong. I love Bobby Lashley.
You're the first person I've ever heard say that.
But WWE handles him completely fucking wrong. TNA had it right with Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, just make him an unstoppable fucking monster.
Yeah, he just has to be that guy. He's got to be the big beast. And, if you try to make Bobby Lashley talk, you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah, you're going to put your fucking audience to sleep.
If you try to make him be a good guy, you're going to have a bad time.
No.
But if you make him a good heel, we
they
go.
have him wearing that stupid fucking headband.
Give him a fucking mouthpiece. It's because he doesn't have eyebrows.
Fucking draw him on. Show up. Fuck it.
Okay, so who are your favorite directors?
Oh, Jesus Christ. We're going to be here for a minute. Oof. Because I don't know how many of the art house nerds listen to your show, but my favorite director all time, hands down, is Ingmar Bergman. Fucking
I
love.
just watched one of his movies not too long ago.
Which one?
Seventh Seal.
Oh, good. Well, that's a good one
Yeah.
to start because like a lot of the times whenever I'm turning people on to Ingmar Bergman, I'm like, dude, you got to watch Persona, and I'm like, why am I telling people to watch Persona? That is like an absolute mind fuck of a film
Yeah.
that I'm still wrapping my head around, and I've watched it over 50 times. But yeah, Seventh Seal, that's definitely a good one to start with. But yeah, favorite director, probably Ingmar Bergman, number one. Underneath that would be David Lynch, just because, I mean, goddamn, how can you not love David Lynch?
Lynch is going Lynch.
There, I actually saw a meme earlier today that was like, if I was in charge of Netflix and I had a budget of $17 billion to spend on original content the next year, they were like, I would just write David Lynch a $100 million check and just get the fuck out of his way. And that shit comes, that most recent season of Twin Peaks was one of like the greatest fucking things I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
it really was.
Like, yeah, I'm glad, like, there's not too many people I can talk about because most people just watched the original seasons and the movie. But dude, season 3, holy shit,
season 3,
fucking blew me away, dude. Like, people were bitching about it too. Like I don't even know what happened. Why would you think you were going to know what's happening?
Yeah,
going into a David Lynch.
Did you know what
anything?
happened in the first 2 seasons?
Exactly.
Hell no.
Like, no one does. And
Does
that's-
anybody know what happens in Mulholland Drive?
No. Well, I got into a very extensive discussion with a buddy of mine not too long ago about how he didn't have any. He's like, why the fuck? Like, why do I gotta have a cheat sheet to understand this fucking movie? And I get it, but also at the same time, I'm such a pretentious asshole that I love that shit.
Oh, I love that movie. No,
Like-
no, hands down.
Like most of my favorite direct, like, because the third director I'm going to go with is possibly more pretentious than David Lynch, because I really love Andrei Tarkovsky.
Yeah, I don't know if I know any of his movies. I
Andre-
don't know the name, so.
Tarkovsky did. He unfortunately passed away before he ever got to do a whole bunch. He did a film called Stalker in the late 70s that I would seriously recommend checking out. If you're a fan of David Lynch, you would really, really like Stalker. Stalker is about this place called The Zone, and he's a Soviet director, so it's got like there's a lot of political and religion. I'm not a Christian at all, but Tarkovsky's films are incredibly Christian. But I dig it because, I mean, to be a Christian in Soviet Russia was actually like pretty brave because they would censor the shit out of your art. But he does a film called The Stalker, or just Stalker, where it's about these people that will take you to a place called The Zone. And what The Zone is, it's this place that reads your deepest, most desires. So, like, for instance, a guy goes and he's like, I'm going to The Zone because my brother is terminally ill and I want him to be saved so he can live. But that's not what he really wants. What he really wants is a bunch of money. And so that's what he's given.
Yeah.
It's kind of got this Twilight Zone twist to it where, like, you know, like, I'm going here to save my brother. I'm actually just going to get a bunch of money. I've got what I wanted, but I'm miserable knowing that I let my brother die.
Yeah.
For the whole thing, and Tarkovsky and like a lot of the actors and crew members that worked on this film ended up dying of weird lung cancers because they were like working in this industrial area of Estonia where there was like hydroelectric plants and chemical plant runoff into this water that they're like wading chest deep in.
Yeah.
And there's snow, what looks like snow, and that's actually like just fucking chemicals falling out of the sky. And Tarkovsky shot that movie in 78. He was dead by 86.
Damn.
And so are a lot of the actors involved in it. So it's kind of heartbreaking when you go back and watch it, but also at the same time it's like one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
He also did a film that was remade with George Clooney, Solaris.
I'm familiar with the existence of the remake.
Yeah, see that the original one is like it's like existential sci-fi.
Yeah.
So like that's what I like with Tarkovsky is he'll kind of take a genre and turn it on its ear. Like you go into Solaris thinking it's going to be like, oh, okay, they're trying to find this weird planet that's putting out radiation and it turns out like I don't really know how to explain Solaris, man. Basically, you watch it, and at the end of the movie, you feel like you're homesick for planet Earth.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I watch a lot of fucking weird movies, a lot of pretentious, snobby art house films.
I mean, when I watched Crawl in theaters, I was glad I didn't live in Florida when I left. Because it was a shitty, overcast, rainy day. And I was just like, man, if we were in Florida right now, we'd gators everywhere.
I was actually seeing a girl who was living in Portland at the time, and on Valentine's Day one year, she went to go see the movie Her by herself.
Oh.
Yeah, she said that.
I haven't seen it, but I understand how that could be a bad decision.
Yeah, she said by the end of it, her and the 5 other people that went to go see it by themselves that day were all crying. Like, I can't think of a worse movie to go see by yourself other than, like, I don't know, The Brown Bunny. Is anyone a fan of Vincent Gallo?
I know of the movie, and I know like Vincent Gallo, and I know that what John's alluding to over there.
Yes, with the unsimulated fellatio with Chloe Sevigny.
Yeah.
That's all anyone knows about that movie. All that I know about that movie is that movie ruined my fucking weekend. That movie is fucking heartbreaking, dude. Because like,
well, I also know that Roger Ebert said that it was fucking atrocious, and then he watched the director's cut, which is actually shorter than the original cut of it.
The festival cut is a self-indulgent nightmare because there's an extra 30 to 40 minutes of just shit that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And yeah, the final cut that he did actually is way better. And Roger Ebert and Vincent Gallo got into like a very public war of words where like
that is what I know it most for.
He said that Roger Ebert has the physique of a slave trader. Like, fuck.
Wow.
And like he said that he put a curse on. He's like, yeah, I saw a witch doctor and put a curse on Roger Ebert's colon. That's why he's having colon cancer now.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but Roger Ebert didn't even miss a beat. He was like, yeah, well, footage of my colonoscopy was more entertaining than the Brown Bunny. Like, oh, fuck. But yeah, in later years, Vincent Gallo even admitted that the colonoscopy bar was, like, pretty good. And that he, like... Because Vincent Gallo, man, that guy used to be a real piece of shit. I love Buffalo 66, but hearing how he treated Christina Ricci on the set of that film, it's like, it's kind of hard to like that movie now, man, because he was a real asshole to her.
Well, I didn't know anything about that, and I watched it last year.
It's a good movie.
It's okay. I liked what he was doing. Like, I liked the premise of it more than I liked the actual meat of the movie itself.
Well, me and my friend Devin speculate that that Billy Brown is a virgin, or that he was a virgin until he went to prison, and that we believe he was raped in prison.
Okay.
Because remember when he's in the bathroom? I don't know how recently you've seen it in the one of the opening sequences. You know, he's trying to find a place to piss.
Yeah.
For like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And he goes into the bathroom, and that guy's looking at his dick.
Yeah.
And at first glance, you think, oh, this is this guy just being homophobic because he just drops the F word like crazy, you know, and gets very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it's like, me and Devin are like, I don't know, man. We think the guy might have been raped in prison, and that's why he's so fucked up about intimacy and everything. But
that would make a lot of sense.
But Gallo's never elaborated on it.
Yeah.
Vincent Gallo's kind of a weird guy. Like on his website, you can buy an evening with Vincent Gallo for $20,000, but you have to be a young, attractive woman. So it's
okay.
Like he pimps himself out, but only for a very exclusive clientele. Yeah. He's taking the piss.
I mean, if you have $20,000 to spend on an evening with him,
I would spend it on someone else other than Vincent Gallo. Someone who's not going to sit around and talk about how misunderstood and how much of a genius they are.
Like Buff Bagwell.
Oh, fuck. By the way, I recently found out that Vincent Gallo was responsible for that heroin chic fad of the mid '90s. He was the photographer that started taking pictures of emaciated women as a means of turning the fashion industry on its upside down. Like that was his whole point, was like, we're gonna photograph aesthetically ugly people and pass it off as beauty. But I don't know, he sounds like a dickhead, but I like the Brown Bunny in Buffalo 66. One of my problematic faves.
Yeah, I don't know about the Brown Bunny because I haven't seen it, but I didn't really care for. Well, it's okay. It was a good movie, but I would say that I'm not going to rewatch it anytime soon. Probably. Buffalo 66.
It's kind of a. I don't know why I like that movie so much. Honestly, I don't relate to any character in that movie whatsoever. I think I just like watching movies and TV shows about pieces of shit. Like, because one of my favorite movies is Taxi Driver, which can immediately, good God, if you're on a fucking dating site You mentioned that Taxi Driver or Fight Club or Rick and Morty
Yeah, yeah.
or Clockwork Orange are things that you're into, and it's immediately and understandably going to send up some
People
red
think
flags.
you're a douchebag. Yeah.
But it's like, no, I know that Travis Bickle is a psychotic piece of shit.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah.
I like the movie.
I like that the movie is fucking. I like that. I like the grittiness of the movie. Like,
Absolutely.
and I like the fact that Harvey Keitel's in it.
Oh, he has a fucking dirtbag
Yeah,
pimp.
dude. Have you seen Bad Lieutenant?
No, I have not.
Man, Harvey Keitel probably is probably his best performance.
Really?
Honestly,
That's saying
and
something.
he's a fucking yes. It is fucking great. There's times in the movie where there's nothing being said,
Yeah.
but like it's still just you're fucking right there. You're in it because it's like his body tells the story.
Well, like that's kind of what I like about a lot of the Scorsese Paul Schrader collaborations, which unfortunately there aren't too many of, because you have Taxi Driver, which is like, in my opinion, the best. Then you got stuff like Last Temptation of Christ, which is very different, and then you have like Bringing Out the Dead, which is kind of a slept on. You don't really hear too many people talk about Bringing Out the Dead because it's. I don't know why it's
I
not
haven't
talked
seen
about
it.
more. It's to me, it's like a Taxi Driver for the '90s instead
Yeah.
of. But it's also got like elements of comedy to it. Like there's a part where Nicolas Cage, he's like a late night paramedic, and he's Patricia Arquette. Her father is like dying in front of her, and he's like doing chest compressions on her father and like making small talk, like he's flirting with her.
Oh wow.
And it's funny, but then when you think about it more, it's like, wow, that's really fucked up to be that completely detached from humanity, because he doesn't even think about them as people. It's just a job to him. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of got a soft spot for a lot of Martin Scorsese's like really fucked up character studies, like King of Comedy.
Yeah,
Like
I just watched it not too long ago.
did you
like
watch
a
it
couple weeks
after
ago.
watching Joker?
Yeah,
That's what a lot of people are
Yeah.
doing, which I'm glad that like Todd Phillips like is putting that out there, because King of Comedy was kind of a slept on movie. Like
yeah. I hadn't heard much about it until Joker came out.
there's that part where in King of Comedy where Jerry Lewis like turns down that woman's autograph and she just wishes that he would get cancer.
Yeah, yeah.
Like fucking, oh god. Yeah, I don't. I was kind of surprised to see that like when Todd Phillips was doing publicity for Joker, that he was like shouting out Martin Scorsese so much like that,
Yeah.
because I was like, if you haven't seen any of those, if you haven't seen Taxi Driver or King of Comedy, you're like, wow, this is a really dark, brooding character study. But if you watch it knowing that, you're like, this is just Taxi Driver and King of
Yeah,
Comedy,
yeah.
just with Joaquin
Yeah.
Phoenix. Like, but it's still good. I still enjoyed the film.
Oh
Don't get me
yeah,
wrong.
for sure.
Like I watched it not too
But
long ago.
it is like a perfect mashup of Taxi Driver and King of Comedy.
Absolutely, and it helps that you have Robert De Niro basically playing Jerry Lewis's
Yeah,
character in
yeah.
it. You know, I thought that was
And he did a really good job at recreating that that 80s New York too.
yeah,
Because it
absolutely.
looks
dirty.
Yeah, it looks fucking filthy.
Which is like, yeah, because like I've only seen footage. Like I watched Paris is Burning not too long ago, and that's like, you know, New York drag scene in like full swing, and yeah, it looks
Yeah.
fucking disgusting.
I've still got to see that because I need to watch it. But
Dude, it's on Netflix, and it is fucking sad because when you realize that, like, wow, like 90% of the people involved in this are all dead from AIDS. Like,
Yeah.
fucking horrifying.
But speaking of AIDS, or
Why are we going into the career of Rock Hudson?
no, we're not gonna get. This is actually something interesting. I just watched the documentary Scream Queen about Mark Patton
Oh shit.
from Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Yeah.
And you know he's like a big HIV/AIDS activist right
Yeah.
now because he still has HIV. He had AIDS, and
Lucky fella.
he had HIV, AIDS, and like something else all at the same time. And like he couldn't start treatment for one because it would mess up the medicine for the other. So he had to like. Anyway. The documentary is really fucking
I'll have to
good
check that out. That sounds really
because
good.
it talks about all the trouble he went through being a closeted gay man in Hollywood, and like
Oh yeah, because that was back when like coming out would like ruin your career.
yeah, and people not thinking he could play straight because of Nightmare on Elm Street 2, and like
I mean-
them thinking that the him believing that it was written that way, and then the writer saying otherwise, that Mark made it gay by his performance.
Dude, I've watched the Never Sleep Again documentary, and it's mind blowing to hear people say that, like, I never picked up on any of the gay undertones. Like, dude,
Yeah.
there's not even gay undertones. Like, that
No,
movie is
that
gay.
movie is gay.
That movie
Yeah.
is gay as fuck. Like when fucking Marshall Bell gets like towel snapped to
Yeah.
death, like, and they run to each other at that like gay BDSM club. Like,
Yeah.
how are you not picking up on this? Like, you guys were just clearly in fucking denial. You
Yep.
didn't want to be associated with this gay movie.
But that movie, that documentary is fantastic.
I'll have to check
It's,
it out.
it's really good.
Like, I'll watch a documentary about shit that, like, I've never seen any of the Phantasm movies.
Yeah.
But the Phantasm documentary is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Just watching how those films were made, like, which one is...
You should watch the first Phantasm.
I've seen part of it.
Yeah.
But which one is it? Is it Phantasm 3 or 4 that has, like, that crazy car wreck sequence where, like, they nearly killed their stuntman?
It is definitely either 3 or 4, but I can't remember
I can't
which
remember which one
it
it is, but yeah, I remember seeing that in a documentary because he goes off with like the launch pole that they have, and
Yeah.
like yeah, our stuntman almost died like 8 times shooting that fucking scene.
Yeah. Those movies are fucking great though. All of them are really good, but the first one is the best, 100%.
I mean, I figured if Mortician is sampling it, it's got to be good.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of movies Mortician sampled,
Oh God, how much time we got?
I watched Serpent in the Rainbow.
Oh, shit.
Last summer.
That movie used to scare the shit out of me when I was a kid. That and People Under the Stairs.
Super good, man. And I was like, I think we were still on the director's thing. Wes Craven, man, what a fucking guy.
That guy has had a hell of a career. Like, because you start out making like Last House on the Left.
Yeah.
But then you do shit like Wishmaster and like.
Dude,
Scream.
did he direct Wishmaster,
I
or was he
believe
just a
he did-
producer on
I
Wishmaster?
can't remember. I think he directed the first one.
But Scream and like New Nightmare, like
Dude, New Nightmare is actually
those movies
really-
are fucking like genre defining.
Yeah, New Nightmare was like the proto Scream.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to look up if I remember I used to get the Wishmaster mixed up with the Page Master.
Oh wow.
Macaulay Culkin.
That's a fucked up mistake to make. I know he did fucking Cursed, which a lot of people shit on, but I think it's really fun.
You're right. He was
movie.
just. Yeah, he was only. It was only. The first Wishmaster is the only one with Craven's name attached to it.
Okay.
And he was an executive producer.
Yeah, executive
So
producer.
yeah, he understandably had nothing to do with that piece of shit movie.
Yeah, I like the first Wishmaster. The other ones are just kind of like, wow, these are fucking. I like them, but for different reasons.
I do remember watching The Hills Have Eyes 2, which like Wes Craven admitted he made just to make money.
Yeah,
Which props for admitting you just made it for money.
the 2 remakes are actually really good.
I've heard that.
The original one's good, and then that second one is like,
I just remember hearing like in the remake that they did of the first one, that there's like horrifyingly graphic rape scene in it. And I just remember thinking like,
I think there is, but it's not really.
well, I just remember thinking like, there wasn't any sex anything in The Hills Have Eyes. That was more
Yeah.
Last House on the Left.
I don't remember if it's like visually graphic, but like it's just the assumption of what's going on is
Yeah.
graphic. No, it's not actually like I don't think it's actually a rape scene. It's been a minute since I watched it, admittedly, but I don't think it's a legit rape scene. I think he's just trying to,
Oh, okay.
and then they get away, like they escape. But it is pretty fucking. From what I remember, it is pretty like rough to watch.
I'm probably in the minority here, but I honestly don't think that The Hills Have Eyes is that good of a movie.
The original?
I prefer Last House on the Left way more. Last House on the Left made me fucking uncomfortable, dude.
I like Last House on the Left good enough, but as far as like a rape revenge movie, the revenge part kind of doesn't deliver for me.
Oh, it falls flat. For me, it was just more of how uncomfortable the movie made me feel
Yeah.
more than anything. Because Hills Have Eyes, I'm just kind of like, the whole time. It's
Mhm.
like, oh, like I know they're not gonna eat this baby. Like you
Yeah,
know they're not
yeah,
going
you
to.
know they're not gonna eat the baby.
Like it's because this is an American film.
But I'm actually very happy to say that I've watched within the last week 2 movies where babies were killed. So
Oh shit! Nice.
one was the one that I screened at Vizart, Flesher.
Yeah.
They kill a baby in that. And it's a good, real graphic baby killing scene too. It's not like
Awesome.
a cutaway. Like they kill the baby on screen.
I did watch a Serbian film not too long ago, and it was like the full
Ugh.
uncut version. Yo, that movie sucks.
It's just not.
It's shock value, the movie.
Yeah, it's. I feel like I had it. It was so hyped up in my head that I couldn't watch it unbiased. But still, I just don't think it was that great.
No, it's just not a good movie, especially when you like the.
And I don't even think it's that shocking. I think there's 2 parts that are really fucking fucked up,
Yeah.
and the rest of the movie is just like, oh, okay, this is
Well-
a standard exploitation movie.
Well, and especially when you read into the fact that like the director is like, oh, well, this is just supposed to be a representation of how the Serbian government treated its people, and then you read into it, it's like that guy's dad was a part of the Serbian government who was like carrying
Yeah.
out these atrocities that he's supposedly against.
You know a movie that's like that, but actually has the fucking... It is actually the substance. Like, it has the good plot, and it's actually shocking and
What's
disturbing.
that?
Silo.
Oh, dude, fucking love Salo, dude.
Yeah.
Goddamn, who doesn't love a movie where the overall message is fascist or
And-
sadistic shit
And you
eaters?
know what happened to Pierre Pasolini after that?
Ugh.
He got fucking murdered.
Yeah.
So,
He made a couple of more movies that weren't that great, but yeah, I've actually got the Criterion version of Salo at the house.
yeah,
And
me
man,
too.
I'm not gonna lie, the first time that they bring out that like dinner tray with like the cover on it and
Yes,
just shit,
yes.
I fucking died laughing. Because it's fucking hilarious. They're just like serving shit like it's food. But then the reality kicks in like, oh yeah, these teenagers are being like forced to eat this.
shit, yeah.
And yeah, I remember listening to Pig Destroyer for years and not realizing that they had sampled apart from Salo whenever he's like reading the declaration to them whenever they first
Yeah.
arrive at the castle. Like, goddamn.
I've got the Criterion Blu-ray, but I want to watch the dubbed version because I've watched the Italian version.
yeah,
like,
yeah,
in
that's the only one
Italian.
I've watched.
So I want to watch the dubbed version and see how the translation works out.
Yeah, I can't imagine how that would be. Can we pause for a second? I gotta go take a piss real
Yeah.
bad. Yeah,
All right, we're back from the piss break. We found out on the piss break that it definitely was Phantasm 3 with the sick car crash sequence.
I know. I feel like a total poser because I have a Mortician shirt that has the tall man from
Yeah,
Phantasm on it, but I just it's a fucking sick shirt design. Like,
dude. Yeah, I mean Angus Scrimm just looks fucking
yeah, exactly.
menacing.
And it's a red print on a white shirt.
Oh,
so it just
those
looks-
are always good.
Yeah, it just looks fucking
Yeah.
killer.
I have the Fire the Flood shirt that's like that.
Oh my god, the Fire, the Flood. Can we just do a podcast about all of Rick Contez's old fucking bands that he is ashamed of, like a Closing Skyline and,
Oh man, a Closing Skyline.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
as it's called, Hopes Fall 2.0.
I remember when a Closing Skyline was a thing, and like
Yeah, me too.
when he had like that feathered hair and was always wearing bandanas and shit.
Oh god, we could just do a whole thing about all the Young and the Way guys, like how Cable used to be in that shitty band Iced X Out.
Oh man,
Oh god, there were
Oh.
so many of those rich kid, tough guy hardcore
and a
bands
lot of
that
those
were
dudes.
fucking old.
At some point, everybody in the North Carolina scene was in Zombie Guts. So
Oh, that fuck, dude. That fucking band, I never got why anyone loved him or Seneca or Kill Whitney Dead. Because, like, I remember seeing Kill Whitney Dead live one time, and you know when people got most hype? Was during the samples.
yeah,
People
yeah,
got more hype during the samples than they did during
Yeah.
their shitty riffs.
for sure. Yeah, that's 100% there.
It's like
Everybody went to Kill Whitney Dead shows because of the demonstration. I think
yeah, exactly.
they wanted to see the demonstration, and that was like the only time that they get
Oh,
to.
God. And a hero, a fake. Goddamn.
A hero fake their plays,
Yeah,
as
a
I
hero
used to
fake
call them.
plays, fucking Stewart.
They fucking revolutionized that shit because
I
now
know.
that's like common practice in the music
Yeah.
industry.
They just basically had payola in the MySpace.
And I'm
days.
like, dude, like, I'm sitting here thinking like maybe I should buy some of my Spotify plays.
dude, that's kind of how. Like, I remember telling that to Troy in the Blood Libel, and he
Oh,
was
dude,
like,
it's too expensive for me.
but like, because I remember telling Troy about that, and he was like, "Why didn't we think of that?" He's like, "We'd probably be on fucking Victory Records now if we had faked our place too."
Yeah, dude. All
Like,
you got to do is look important. You don't have to actually be important.
Yeah, exactly. The only difference is that the Blood Libel at least we actually had fans. Nobody was into a hero fake.
Here's the thing: you get that first, you get that label, you get that deal, you get that first tour.
and then you get that debt from being signed to Victory Records.
Nobody comes to that first tour, so you get dropped.
Yep.
But you've been on tour now. You've got an independent label that's put out a CD or two.
Yeah.
Now kids know who you are. Now you get signed by another label, and they actually come to those shows.
Exactly. Oh God.
But
Man.
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how hip hop works.
Dude, fuck that.
I just thought it was all about. I just thought if I was good and I knew people that booked shows or like anything I could just get on shit.
Nope.
But like no,
No, if that was-
hip hop is a whole nother level.
If that was the case, dude, then like Brennan Campbell would be like one of the biggest fucking dudes in like hip hop
Dude,
right
he
now.
and he knows how to play the game better than I do because he's on way more shows than I am.
Yeah, and
I
even
can't
then
even
he's
fucking.
and even he's still struggling to get his like videos to crack like 1,000 plays.
I gotta fucking. I get to goddamn play first on a lineup with goddamn B-Rad G on it from fucking Malibu's Most Wanted.
Yeah, because like, have you seen that?
I'm glad nobody listens to this podcast because somebody would be really pissed off at me right now.
Have you seen Brennan's like that one that he did where he's rapping as Wilford Brimley?
No,
Dude, it's
I haven't.
fucking hilarious. It's like the thing is like, it's funny, but it's also like his bars are fucking fire,
Yeah,
and he's rapping about having diabetes and shit.
I played a show with him not too long ago. It was like Big Low was like on tour
Yeah,
from Florida, and I played with him. And he actually gave me the best compliment I've had on my raps in a long time.
yeah.
He told me I sounded kind of like Necro and Ill Bill and shit like that, and I was like, okay,
Yeah, I'll take
I'll
that.
take that because
Yeah,
like,
shit.
even though I don't necessarily like some of their lyrical content, their flow and,
Oh,
and
dude.
wordplay is next to none.
Dude, and
for some of
Necro's
those guys.
production is like ridiculous too, man. Like he produced that Clockwork Orange beat for Cage.
We were talking about that goddamn. We were talking about Mark Wahlberg off air and how he's my problematic fave
Oh, yeah.
actor. Necro's my problematic fave rapper for sure.
Oh god, dude! Like all of my favorite rappers are problematic fave. Like fucking Big L, dude. Big
Anybody-
L is like
well,
so
dude,
homophobic. that
No,
I still love it.
anybody from the '90s is like I think they get a pass,
Yeah,
especially if they died because like they don't. There's no telling if they would have evolved or not.
yeah, because like
The only people who like don't get a pass are like Eminem, who are still trying to spit the same shit
Yeah,
he was in
exactly.
'97 or '98 and can't do it anymore.
yeah, for me it's like there are some guys that have evolved, like Dell. Like
Yeah.
Dell's pretty much like changed up his. But even then, like if you go back and listen, Dell wasn't really dropping too much homophobic shit.
Nah, it really wasn't.
Like it was more like, and even then, not even the Souls of Mischiefs guys. Like casual would occasionally, but like not that much. Like most of
You know what shocks me though when I go back and listen to Goody Mob and realize how homophobic their lyrics
yeah,
were.
but then you got to think about it. It's like, man, it's a bunch of black dudes in the South. Am I?
Oh, yeah.
Am I really
Yeah,
surprised they're homophobic? Like,
But then CeeLo is also like coming out with those comments about rape, and it's just like, oh wow,
oof, yeah.
I really just can't fucking be publicly supporting Goody Mob anymore.
I know, and it's unfortunate because their first two albums are so fucking good.
They for real are.
Self Therapy, goddamn, I love Self Therapy.
While we're on music though, what's your favorite movie score or soundtrack?
Bringing it back around to David Lynch, Eraserhead, man. I fucking love the score for
Yes.
Eraserhead because,
Any David Lynch movie, they all have fantastic music in them.
well, especially Eraserhead because, like, no one was doing a score like that because
Mhm.
there's not really a score to Eraserhead. It's more just ominous, unsettling noise.
Yeah,
It's like a weird hum underneath, but then that ended up getting bootlegged by like every fucking horror director in the
Yeah.
early 2000s.
yeah.
All just starts doing the low hum, and then they'll get like the aquaphone to make like the weird creaking metal noises.
Yeah.
Which
And then James Wan decided this needs fucking strings,
yeah, exactly,
lots of strings.
exactly. But yeah, I really like Eraserhead score and another David Lynch one, Lost Highway. The Lost Highway soundtrack is just
Yeah,
fucking
dude.
fire, dude.
Yeah.
Because Trent Reznor was on that shit.
I rented a movie today that has one of the best soundtracks of all time,
What, Mortal Kombat?
Judgment Day.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Or
Judgment Night, yeah,
there we
Judgment
go.
Night.
Yeah, dude. Judgment Night.
Judgment Night!
It was like,
Ooh,
it's got like
ooh.
Ice-T and fucking Biohazard.
Yeah, dude,
and,
all those, and it's every song is a rap rock mashup.
yeah, mashup,
song.
which is like just weird. Like they were doing that back in like what was that, like 94, 95? Like that was before the crossovers were really like a big deal.
Oh, I was trying to see if my headphones were shorting out. I think they are.
Oh, okay, I thought we were having a.
Something was going out because we were losing a little bit of volume there, but I think we're good now. But what did you say? I'm sorry.
Oh, we were just talking about Judgment Night.
Judgment Night, yeah.
Is that the one where Onyx and Biohazard?
Yeah, Onyx
that?
and Biohazard have a song. It's got like Cypress Hill and Sonic Youth.
Yeah.
together, I think.
And I want to say like Slayer did a song. on
Yeah,
there.
Slayer's got a song with somebody, Ice-T probably, I think.
Yeah, I think it is Ice-T.
And then there's a song with Pearl Jam and somebody too.
Yeah,
There's
that
a
was-
lot of motherfuckers on there.
Yeah, that's a soundtrack that like doesn't really get a whole lot of love. I think because like I don't know, nobody was thinking to mix those two things.
It was
in
so
94.
ahead of its time, man.
Yeah, because then like and then maybe 5 or 6 years later, there was a compilation called "Take a Bite Out of Rhyme," which was like that was where you had like System of a Down and like RZA and Jizza doing a cover,
Yeah.
like Shame and all that. Like God, there was another one like Bloodhound Gang and someone else on it. Like it was. But even then, that was almost like a little too late because everyone was sick of the rock mashup by like '99 when that shit came out.
Yeah, because that's when that's when the bottom fell out. And then it became all about like the new wave of new metal, like that Flaw.
Oh God, I was around for all that dope.
Yeah.
You had dope. You had Taproot, No One. Pretty much the entire Ozfest 2002 lineup is like so much cringe. You got like Motograder and Endo and like all these bands that are bootlegging the bands that came before
Fucking
them.
Ed P.
You know what's really funny to listen to Head PE and like hear how homophobic they got on one of their records in particular. Then you go back and like do some research, like their singer back in the '80s was basically bootlegging Prince
Yeah.
and like dancing around to like techno beats and spandex. But then 10 years later, you're gonna talk about everyone's just a bunch of faggots now, man. Like, ugh. That's one of the. It's one of the bands that I kind of like. I still fuck with NPE to an extent because their first 2 albums are kind of good
Yeah.
in that new metal-y sort of vibe. But then then you realize like, oh god, they're still going.
Yeah.
They're still trying
Yeah.
this, and that dude is
Yeah.
like that guy's pushing 60.
They're touring still.
Yeah, I'm touring to places like fucking Ground Zero, playing
Yeah.
with like Mushroom
Yeah.
Head and shit.
Yeah.
Oh god, Mushroom Head.
Mushroom Head. Fuck.
That was the band that like. Remember people were like, yeah, you like Slipknot? Well, they were just ripping off Mushroom Head, man. Like, no, they weren't because Mushroom Head sucks and Slipknot is actually kind of good.
Oh man.
I hope I'm not making any enemies.
I'm
saying
not.
Head sucks.
No comment on that one. I do have an opinion. Slipknot is clearly the superior band.
Absolutely. But I mean, because they actually put out albums that are worth listening to.
I won't say Mushroom Head sucked because I did like a couple of their songs.
I could never get into them. Even when I was like into new metal, I was like, I'm not digging this. Like,
Yeah.
because what was that one song that they had, Solitary Unraveling? Like, god damn, that shit is so corny. My rage is trapped inside of a cage. Like, oh, stop.
Okay. What is your go-to movie snack?
Oh fuck, I don't even know.
Like we're going to the Regal Theater right now.
Uh,
You got unlimited funds in your pocket.
Oh shit, I'm probably gonna grab some like cookie dough bites. And yeah, that's probably it. Honestly, man, I fuck with cookie dough bites.
You don't no popcorn,
Nah, popcorn.
soda.
I mean, yeah, I might grab a soda. I might grab a Pepsi if they have it there. But most
We got
places don't.
This is a theater with the beer, so you can get you a beer if you wanted.
Nah,
Drink half of mine.
nah, probably. if I'm gonna be getting anything, like if it's one of those fancy places, I'd probably just be getting like a coffee.
Oh yeah.
Because they're like at the Manor Theater, you can get like coffee at their.
I got a fucking a pretzel one time at a theater, and I was just like, man, this is fucked up. This pretzel sucks ass.
No, I usually just go for like the last theater that I've been to was the Manor Theater, and they sell all kinds of like weird shit
Yeah.
at their like concession
I
stand.
still haven't been, but I want to go because it looks really cool.
Oh, dude, I love the Manor. They only got like 2 screens. That's where I saw like Birdman and like fuck, what else did I see there?
I wanted to go see Jojo Rabbit there because they had it. They were like one of the few theaters that had it, but I missed it.
I want to say that's where I went and saw Still Alice. I saw Still Alice, and I was surprised at the amount of like old people.
What is that?
That's a movie where Julianne Moore has early onset dementia.
Oh, okay.
And like she I mostly went to go see it because I love Julianne Moore. She probably is like my favorite actress ever.
Yeah.
But I was mostly surprised that you actually get to see a scene where Alec Baldwin like emotes and cries, which is fucking amazing. Because when's the last time Alec Baldwin has emoted in anything?
Yeah.
Like, think about it.
I guess you don't have to when you're the 30 Rock guy. Or
I guess
whatever.
not, because that's kind
The
of what he's
show
been
was.
playing his
Yeah.
entire career. But like, yeah, and Still Alice, no, he's like breaking down crying because his like wife is like hiding her. She like puts her cell phone in the freezer in the middle of the night because she's losing her fucking mind.
Wow.
It's a really sad movie, but also
Sounds sad.
It's very good.
It's okay. If they were making a movie about your life, who would you cast to play you? And you can't say yourself.
Jesus Christ. I have no idea, because the only actor I could think to play me is dead, and that would be Philip Seymour Hoffman. But I look nothing like Philip Seymour Hoffman. I look more like Bunsen Honeydew than anything.
I was gonna say Brian Posehn.
Everyone always says Brian Posehn.
If he shaved and was bald all the way.
I guess, but is he really an actor? He's more of just a comedian that was signed to Relapse for some reason.
He's a character actor.
Mm.
I consider him that now. He's done some good character stuff. He did the Devil's Rejects, and he was on The Mandalorian. I don't know if you've watched any of it.
I have not watched that at all.
It's actually really fucking good.
I'm always very hesitant to check out anything Star Wars related.
Out of all the new Star Wars shit, Force Awakens and The Mandalorian are my favorite.
Yeah, I've heard that there's a bottle episode that they did on The Mandalorian where they're just in a corridor of the ship for the entire episode. It's just only in one place, and I've heard it's one of the most compelling things.
It's good, man.
I've heard a lot of good things about it.
It's good. It's got a lot of good actors in it too.
I'm just kind of hesitant to check out Star Wars anything because it's I'm so lost in that fucking franchise. I don't know what's what anymore.
This takes place. It's before.
If it's before Jedi, then I'm into it because I fucking love Empire and the first. I like A New Hope and Empire.
I want to say it's between Jedi and Force Awakens. I'm not 100% sure.
I'd probably give it a shot,
but
I just hate having to have a fucking encyclopedia open to understand.
Yeah, I don't think you do. I don't think you have to because it doesn't really. At least on the surface, it doesn't have any tie-ins to the rest of the
okay.
I mean, obviously, it has the Empire is done or whatever. It has all that going on. But,
yeah.
That's all pretty basic stuff that you don't really need anything to understand. One of the best things about it to me is that it has the actor that played Bugging Out in Do the Right Thing.
Oh, fucking...
he was also Gus in Breaking Bad. I can't remember his name.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, he's in it.
He's also in The Usual Suspects. He's the main detective.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
If you're going to watch any of the dynamic duo of Hollywood's pedophilia ring, man, Usual Suspects is a good one. It's also very unfortunate to watch it knowing that it's a Bryan Singer film with Kevin Spacey in it because it's God, what horrors were happening in their dressing room, but not a bad movie. Yeah, I don't think this is what's going to happen when you have me on here. I'm going to completely derail
just
anything.
Kill everything.
Absolutely. Fucking buzzkill.
Well, I mean, we've brought up pretty much every pedophile in Hollywood so far.
More or less. It's kind of hard to not when you're talking about movies.
We had Roman Polanski. We got Polanski out there. We got Salva out there. Singer.
I remember Eric Andre had a joke about it. He's like, "Yeah, I'm pitching a show to ABC, Celebrity to Catch a Predator. We keep getting Roman Polanski again and again and again."
Man, I'm just there's a petition to get him I don't know what it's about. It's they want to let him back in America or something.
Yeah, basically to get some awards and shit. Dude,
no, fuck Roman Polanski. Let him fucking stay gone.
And it's and honestly, the last good film that he did was, and even then, everyone fucking blows their load over The Pianist. The Pianist isn't even that great of a movie. Because the thing that bugs me, which again, bringing up a problematic favorite here. Even though his movies aren't the greatest, I will applaud Mel Gibson for trying to inject some sort of authenticity to it. Okay, if I'm making a movie about Jesus, they're all going to be speaking Aramaic.
Yeah.
If I'm making a movie about fucking Mayans, they're all going to be speaking their old language. You watch The Pianist, and there's a part where Adrian Brody's walking out, and he's holding his hands, and he's "I'm Polish, please don't shoot, I'm Polish." It's why are you speaking English? This is fucking Poland, dude.
Yeah.
I know you're not. I know they're not having bilingual courses in the 1940s in fucking Poland.
Oh.
But yeah, Polanski's last good movie, honestly, might have been like Cul-de-sac or like Repulsion.
I've
That's
literally
like 40 years ago.
I've literally only seen Rosemary's Baby.
That's a good one.
So-
China. People would say Chinatown is his best one. I don't.
Oh, he did Chinatown.
Yeah,
Okay, so I've seen Chinatown too.
Chinatown, honestly, not one of my favorites of his. I would go with, if you're gonna watch any of Polanski's films, I would go with Knife in the Water, Repulsion, and Cul-de-sac. Those are like his best films, I'd say.
But
Cul-de-sac is a
steal them though.
yes. I do unfortunately have Criterion versions of all these
Yeah.
films, but I bought most of them secondhand on eBay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's
that's
little-
that's a little bit better.
It's a little different.
Somebody gave Roman Polanski money,
Exactly.
but it wasn't you.
No, it was very secondhand. But yeah, Cul-de-sac is a good like dark comedy, thriller type film of Polanski's.
Okay, so this is my last question, and then we're gonna move into the this or that and the subgenre breakdown. Ernest or Pee Wee, and why?
Ernest, because I've actually only, dude. People will probably crucify me for saying this. I've never seen Big Top Pee Wee or Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
Wow.
I've seen Pee Wee's Playhouse, but I've also seen like all of the Ernest movies, even the ones that like the Legacy of Jim Varney would like to forget, like Ernest Goes to Africa,
Oh,
where,
yeah.
where the box art is him wearing a fucking
Yeah.
mask. Like,
Yeah.
dude, it might as well be like Ernest goes to fucking Fifth Ward and he's wearing blackface. Like it's that bad. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
No, I don't know why. I don't know why I never watched Pee Wee movies as a kid.
I think you should watch Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
That's
as
what
an
I've
adult.
heard.
Because I think you'll definitely see the value of it. Again, I'm not champion either one because I like both of them equally. I'm a big both mark. Like that's why I have this question on here to see how other people kind of gauge it. But I think they both are good and they both have their cultural importance.
Yeah,
And I think that Ernest is just it resonates more with us in the South.
in the South, absolutely, because like you knew an Ernest P. Worrell growing
Yeah.
up. But also at the same time, I like seeing those actors play characters outside of those characters. Like in Cheech and Chong's next movie, you have
Yeah.
Paul Rubens playing
Yeah.
the uptight hotel clerk,
Yeah.
who's really funny in that. But then also like in fucking the Beverly Hillbillies movie, you have Jim Varney
Yeah.
playing Jed Clampett, and that's honestly I fuck with that Beverly Hillbillies 94.
Jim
94,
Varney's
95?
in something else where he plays like a
93.
bad guy.
93.
Yeah, it's the one with the guy from Drew Carey's.
Yeah, Diedrich Bader. Is it?
Yeah.
Jim Varney also just a good voice actor too, as the Slinky Dog and
Yeah,
Toy Story.
yeah.
So I guess it's more outside of the Ernest character that I have more of a respect for Jim Varney than I do Paul Rubens. But then Paul
Okay.
Rubens is like a great.
He's great too. He's in
he's-
Blow and
And he's in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, Buffy the Vampire
as an
Slayer.
asshole villain.
Yep.
In Reindeer Games. That
He does the voice for one of the trick or treaters in Nightmare Before Christmas too.
oh man, I haven't seen that movie since I was a kid.
Yeah. And he's in Mystery Man. How could we forget that? With Ben Stiller.
And Kel Mitchell. Don't forget Kel Mitchell and Janine Garofalo.
Janine Garofalo. That movie has a better cast than it should. And for that time, that is like a William H. Macy's in that fucking movie.
How did that movie not get like? How did that not do better?
Was it not a better movie?
Ugh, I never saw it.
It's fun. It's very fun to watch, but it is not a good movie.
I remember hearing it's kind of like that's kind of how that movie Evolution
It's got
is.
Tom Waits in it.
It's like Evolution is a movie that has so much promise.
Dude,
and
no,
it
I think
stinks.
Evolution's actually underrated. I think it's a
Isn't
good
that,
movie.
isn't it an Ivan Reitman movie?
I don't know,
Yeah, it's supposed to be Ghostbusters 3.
Yeah, basically it was.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like related. to
but I
Ghostbusters.
think it's a legit good movie. I
I
think
haven't
it
seen
is.
it. I just
Yeah,
heard
it's.
it.
I think you should check it out. It's
I'll
fun.
give it a shot. I'm pretty sure John
funny.
has it over here. It's fucking
I have
pile
it on
just.
DVD. I bought
Probably.
it.
Okay, so we got those questions out of the way. These are more rapid fire things. This or that. I'm going to give you two options, and you pick which one you like the best.
All right.
Watching movies alone or with friends.
Depends on the movie, but I'm going to say alone. Usually I do better watching a movie by myself first time.
Theater or at home.
Again, depends on the movie. I'm glad that I got to see Birdman in theaters for the first time, but I feel like it probably would have been one of my favorite movies of that year if I'd watched it at home. So, I guess I'll say theater.
Horror or sci-fi.
Oof. again, I have so many there's so many variables because horror has like a lot of aspects that I enjoy, but then sci-fi can get a lot of existential shit out there. I'm gonna say horror because I like horror. I have more horror movies that I like than sci-fi movies.
Action or drama?
Drama. I'm a total like acting nerd.
Yeah.
So you get that way more than you do in action. But also at the same time, I'll watch an Ingmar Bergman movie, but then I'll watch fucking John Wick right afterwards. So it's a grab bag.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Can I say neither? Can I say that I like the Terminator franchise better because I love the first two Terminator movies?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Because I honestly, I like A New Hope and I like Empire Strikes Back. That's really about it. I don't really care much for Star Trek.
Okay. Alien or the Predator?
Oh fuck. I'm gonna say Alien. I like the first one better.
Freddy or Jason?
That's a hard one. God damn, because I like three from each franchise. Freddy, because he's more creative. Jason's just kind of like unstoppable kill machine, and it's a little boring.
Wayne and Garth or Bill and Ted?
Cheech and Chong.
Okay.
I'll go with that, because that was what I was into way before I was into either one of those.
Jean-Claude Van Damme or Chuck Norris?
Oh, JCVD all the way, dude. Bloodsport? Are you fucking kidding me? Bloodsport is like one of the best martial arts movies ever
I don't
made.
think anybody said Chuck Norris yet.
No, because Chuck Norris is fucking... he's like a legit martial artist. Yeah, he fought Bruce Lee, but his movies...
Terrible actor, though.
His movies are fucking boring. You watch Bloodsport, and it's like, dude, they're showcasing like Muay Thai in here, and this is like, what, 88?
Man.
Like,
yeah,
it's really ahead of its time. I fucking love Bloodsport.
Stallone or Schwarzenegger?
Schwarzenegger. All the way.
Sling Blade or Forrest Gump?
Sling Blade, because that is the only movie that has ever like inspired a series of songs in a band I was in. I don't know if you know this, but when we were in Pig Mountain, Doob wrote like 3 songs that are all centered around Dwight Yoakam's character.
Wow.
In Sling Blade, we had a song called "The Monster," "The Shed," and "The Baptism," and they were all loosely based on one of the songs. "The Monster" was actually based off of the dumb riff that Dwight Yoakam's shitty band is playing for one scene. We wrote a whole fucking song around that.
We play that song. We play that riff every now and then, like just fucking around.
Yeah.
If I'm jamming with somebody, then yeah.
Yeah, we ended up structuring one of my favorite Pig Mountain songs around the dumb little chord progression that he plays in that one scene.
Yes, nice.
That song was a lot of fun to play.
I believe Doob has said something about that before. That question actually has a little context that I'm going to throw in here. Some of my listeners have already heard this story, but I'm just going to keep it short. But I actually came up with the idea to ask that question because last April, Joe Bob Briggs did a live show in Charlotte, and one of his show was called How Rednecks Save Hollywood. And one of his big points is there are 2 types of people in this world. There's Sling Blade people and Forrest Gump people. And he's like, I'm hoping if you're here, you're a Sling Blade person.
I think a Sling Blade is so much darker.
Yes.
Because Forrest Gump,
darker.
you could look at Forrest Gump as dark as like Jenny is just the worst human being in existence. But if you look at it with like a golden heart, it's like, oh, she just had to make a bunch of terrible mistakes before she came back to Forrest.
I think that when people say that she's a terrible person, they don't take into account that the time period in which it takes place and how people with different abilities mentally were viewed in society, and if you take that into account, of course she would do that. Of course she would not want to be with him until it was like later on. Yeah, like the last
when
option.
She already has AIDS.
Because that's the fucking culture that they grew up in. That's the culture they were a part of.
Well, and like, there's parts of Forrest Gump that are like a lot of people really do, because everyone's just like, oh yeah, he tells JFK that he has to go pee, but everyone forgets about the scene where like Jenny is like throwing rocks at her old house. Like that's a really fucked up scene to think about, because like I just remember watching that movie as a kid and not really getting that her dad was molesting her. Watching it as an adult, like, this is really fucked up, Bob Zemeckis. Why are you putting this in your movie? Didn't put any of this in Back to the Future.
Alright, so we're wrapping it up here. I got just the subgenre breakdown left to do.
Alright.
I'm gonna throw out a subgenre of movie, and you just tell me what your favorite movie is from that subgenre.
All right.
Slashers.
Ooh boy. Does Pieces count?
Yeah, I count it.
Because I fucking love Pieces because Pieces is like seriously one of the most like phoned in, ham-handed. Let's just make a gore pick for the sake of gore.
Yeah.
Like he sneaks a chainsaw onto an elevator. Fucking come on! How does no one pick up on that? How do you not immediately love
It
this
had
movie?
some of the best taglines ever too.
No, yeah,
It's exactly
what
what you think it is, and you don't have to go to Texas for a chainsaw
Hey,
massacre.
I know it's not my episode. I just want to chime in. Also, the police confiscate his chainsaw early on in the movie, and somebody has the same one for the elevator scene later on.
Or like either that, or there's another one that I saw back in the day called Slasher. Me and my sister rented it from fucking Armchair Theater in Mount Holly, North Carolina. Shout out to anyone that fucking knows that joint. Probably no one. And it's one of those shot on home video
Ooh,
type of movies. And the opening scene is seriously a guy. He has a meat cleaver and he's like bringing it up and he's like very daintily chopping into someone, and then you just see a fucking Halloween Express prop severed arm just fall into a bathtub, and it pans up. And he just grabs it and walks away, and it's like clearly a rubber arm. And it was fucking hilarious. But yeah, because most of the time if I'm going to be watching a slasher movie, I'm not watching it the same way I watch a fucking Ingmar Bergman movie.
yeah.
I'm watching this because this is clearly a piece of shit. Like, because very few slasher movies do I ever take seriously. I'm trying to think if there is a slasher movie that I take seriously, and I'm drawing a blank here.
Yeah, because I mean, even Scream and stuff like that is kind of tongue in cheek in a way. Its way.
Candyman has...
Oh no! Now you're talking.
The origin story for Candyman is much more realistic and fucked up than...
But the cinematography of that original.
Oh,
Candyman,
dude, I love Candyman, dude. Like the first Candyman is
so
fucking great. It's
I've talked about it multiple times on this podcast already, but I saw it on the big screen this past
shit.
this past
Oh, did you go to
September
was it at Airsley?
at Airsley. Yeah,
Oh, dude, I wanted to go to that so bad.
dude.
All right, yeah, I'll change time from Pieces to Candyman because
Okay,
Candyman is actually a fucking.
dude.
It's a well-made
Yeah.
movie with like heart.
For sure, that movie's fantastic.
Plus Tony Todd, dude. Fucking, if you could cast anyone
Greatest dude,
to
best dude
I've
ever.
heard he's a super nice guy.
Super
too.
fucking cool.
Isn't he in that remake of Night of the Living Dead that Savini did?
Mhm.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
fucking great in that.
He's allegedly gonna be in the new Candyman too. That's coming out in April.
I mean, if you're
I don't think he's gonna be the Candyman,
Uh,
but I think he's in it. I think he has a cameo or something.
I mean, as long as they got like some
Yeah,
homage to the original.
the
there.
Helen Lyle character is gonna be in it.
Nice.
So
man.
it's supposed to be a spiritual sequel to the
dude,
original. So
you
it's
know
not
what'd
like
be
a
dope?
complete
If fucking
remake.
Jordan Peele did like
He's
a new.
supposed to be doing it.
Really, he's supposed to be doing.
He's
the-
producing it.
He's producing.
Well, he's involved
Yeah.
in it, so it'll at least be fucking.
It's coming out in April.
Hopefully, it's better than that fucking Twilight Zone series he
Yeah.
was involved with. Jesus
I
Christ!
I didn't get to watch any of it.
They had an episode where, it's like there's a meteorite that's making all the men act like psychotic animals, and then it turns out that there was no meteorite. It's just
Men are psychotic animals.
that's just how it is. And I was like, dude, fuck off! Like that's
I
not
mean,
even, like you just it's like
not
they-
too far from reality.
I guess, but I mean, come on. There's a part where Ike Barinholtz's eyes turn blood red and his voice changes really deep.
Yeah.
But we're supposed to act like that's just how dudes are. Like,
No.
come the fuck on. You guys just forgot you had to write an ending to this episode. Like, that's how it felt. Like, oh shit, we gotta wrap
Oh,
this
man.
up. Oh, there was no meteorite.
Speaking of Twilight Zone, though, I just watched an episode on New Year's Day.
Mhm.
It had the actor that played Mickey and Rocky in it.
Oh,
I think it was called The Obsolete Man.
Burgess Meredith.
Yeah, The Obsolete Man is the name of the episode.
A good Twilight.
It's fucking fantastic.
A good Twilight Zone episode to watch is an incident at Owl Creek Bridge. That's not even a Twilight Zone episode. It's just a French short film that they broadcast, and it's like a dude being hanged at the Civil War. Like basically, it's set in Civil War,
Oh, okay.
and you see this whole thing. I don't want to spoil it for you,
Yeah.
but like, dude, definitely watch it.
I think I've seen that one.
It's not like any other Twilight Zone
Yeah.
episode, and there's no dialogue. That's the thing too.
Yeah.
There's zero dialogue at all. It's really cool.
Surfer movie.
Surfer movie?
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't even think I have one. God damn, does Castaway count?
No.
Then I'll just say Surf Ninjas.
Yeah.
'Cause that's the first one that comes
That's
to
the
mind.
one I'm fishing for.
Because what else is there?
Trucker movie.
Oh my god, it's the elevator scene. Holy fuck. Trucker movie. Does High Tension count?
I'll allow it. Yeah, I'll allow it.
With the
That's a
severed
good
head
movie.
fellatio. How does he sneak this on? This is... Goddamn. Alright, I'll take it back. Pieces over Candyman. No, I'm kidding.
Western.
Western, can I just say any Akira Kurosawa film, since that's pretty much a ripping off? I'd say Yojimbo, because Yojimbo is just basically all of the Clint Eastwood Man with No Name movies. It's just in a samurai setting, and it's way
Okay.
better.
Alright.
Because I'm that guy.
Revenge.
Revenge, ooh, that's a toss-up between... No, it's not a toss-up at all, because I Spit on Your Grave is a horrible movie. I'm going to say Last House on the Left, even though as you say, the
I
Revenge...
Spit on Your Grave is far superior to Last House on the Left.
I don't know, man. It's bad when the rape scene is like comedic, because that's supposed to be a very serious, dark scene, and she's seriously making googly-eyed, like cartoony faces while.
Okay,
being
I'll
raped.
give you that. I'll give you that.
It's
She did
horrible.
oversell it, but
But it is also fucked up.
it's a
that,
good
like,
movie though.
That is fucked up that dude loses his virginity raping a woman. That is
Yeah.
horrifyingly
Yeah.
dark and
Yeah.
terrible. So I don't know. It's a toss-up between those two, and maybe possibly, even though I know Rob Zombie movies not very good, I kind of don't mind The Devil's Rejects.
I do not badmouth Rob Zombie on this podcast.
It's over your fucking.
I understand that people don't like his movies.
Well,
but
honestly, because I mean,
I like all of them except for maybe Halloween and
I
Halloween 2.
haven't seen those. I didn't want to see them because I remember him saying like, "Oh, I can't be scared of
But even
of Michael Myers. I got to make him look like Corey Taylor from Slipknot."
even his Halloween movies are okay. They're passable movies. Like they're not completely unwatchable pieces of shit. You know?
I will give you that. I think I saw the first one, and I was like, "Ah, this isn't bad. It's
But
different. It's very
Lords
different."
of Salem. If you like weird, that movie's got you weird.
I mean,
right there.
I mean, David Lynch is one of my favorites. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's
pretty
not
much
quite. It's not genius like Lynch,
Yeah,
but
it's
it's
just
weird.
fucking weird.
but it's fucking weird.
It's not a thinking man's movie.
Fucking stoner movie.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I already said Cheech and Chong, but if I had to go with any stoner movie that honestly does make me laugh and still makes me laugh, it's Cheech and Chong's next movie.
Yes.
Not even
Yes.
the Up in Smoke one, dude. Next
That's
movie
the best. No, next movie's way better than
with
Up in
fucking
Smoke.
with Cheech's character Red.
Yeah.
How do you not fucking laugh hysterically? It's just Cheech
Holy
married,
sheep shit.
just doing a fucking Texas accent the entire movie, like, or
He's still driving them little, funny little cars. With his weird babies.
or when like that their neighbor is proud of his flowers and Chong is
Yeah.
just like fucking redlining his motorcycle, blowing
Yeah.
exhaust.
Yeah.
That guy's shit. Like, it's the little stuff of those movies that makes me laugh more than like the overall plot of it.
The fucking song, the Mexican American song.
Oh my god! And then Chong's version that he comes up with, and I'm just not
Yeah,
even gonna
yeah.
repeat that we all know what it is.
Oh man.
I remember Doob actually used to know the chords for that shit, and we would cover it in practice. Don't tell him I told people that.
Zombie movies.
Mine would be the Argento cut of Dawn of the Dead.
Okay.
I like it because he made it way more darker and like brooding. He went with a different ending that seems much more plausible, but also at the same time, I like Return of the Living Dead for that same reason, because to me the ending of Return of the Living Dead is exactly what would happen. Just fucking nuke them and
Yeah.
contain it. That's exactly what would happen in a
Yeah.
real life scenario. So mine's a toss up between the Argento cut of
Have
Dawn.
you
and
seen
Return.
either of the Dead Snow movies?
No. Oh wait, no. I've seen the first one. I saw the first
Yeah.
one at a bad movie night in Charlotte years ago, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Why is this on a bad movie night? This
It's
is
a
actually
good movie.
pretty good."
The second one's even better.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing the first one and thinking like, Nazi zombies, all right, whatever.
You got everything good about the first one, plus it's in English, and everything's turned up to like 11.
yeah,
So
I'll
like there's
check that
more
out.
splatter, there's more humor,
Yeah,
there's
that
more everything.
Oh goddamn!
Vampires.
Ooh boy. Ooh boy. I don't really care for vampire movies, to be completely honest. Like, because I think vampires are kind of lame. I mean, there's so many things. Like, you can only kill them through a stake through the heart. If I fucking jabbed a stake through your heart, you're fucking dead, dude. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you can kill them with decapitation. Yeah, I can kill a person with decapitation the same way. I guess I've had to say From Dusk Till Dawn,
Okay.
just because it's barely a vampire movie.
That's actually the perfect way to go with a vampire movie or any creature movie. Honestly,
Because it starts out as just being like badass, like criminal movie where they just are like taking a family hostage, and then Selma Hayek is insanely hot, and Tarantino lives out his foot fetish on camera, and then it turns into a vampire movie. So yeah, I guess I'd go with From Dusk Till Dawn.
okay. Werewolf movie.
Not too crazy about werewolf movies.
So Teen Wolf then.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if I had to pick, like, I'm trying to think of the only werewolf movie I've seen all the way through is either Silver Bullet or An American Werewolf in London. Not even the OG.
Man. Have you not seen Wolf Cop?
Paris is the one you're thinking about.
No, dude, I have not seen Paris. I've only seen
No.
London.
Paris is
No, Paris is the newer one.
Paris is the
Oh, okay.
97.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of, that has old dude from down here on campus.
London's the original.
London's
the
the
OG. The OG.
Yeah, I've seen some of the Howling movies. Didn't really care for them that much. Nah, werewolf movies to me are just kind of lame because I don't give a shit about werewolves. Like,
You gotta see Wolf Cop.
I'll give it a shot.
You gotta watch Wolf
I
Cop.
think they talked about that on Red Letter Media.
It's
that,
fucking hilarious.
that might have been.
It has my favorite transformation movie in any werewolf movie because
yeah.
it starts at his dick.
It's so good.
All right, I'll check that out
It's
then.
so fucking good.
There's a sex scene between the wolf cop and a woman, and you gotta see it. You gotta
Does
see
the Anthropophagus Beast count as a werewolf movie? I don't think.
it. I
it
don't
does.
know. I don't know.
Word
That.
for
I'm not
word.
familiar with that movie.
No, it's one of the video nasties, brother.
Oh, okay.
Brother.
Found footage.
Don't like found footage movies, but if I had to pick one, it would be The Blair Witch Project, mostly because of the. I used to think that movie sucked until I watched. There's this awful YouTube series from a guy named Matt Pat, who does this shit. He's like, but that's just a theory, a game theory. But he has one called Film Theory, and his film theory is that there was never a witch at all. These two dudes just lured Heather, whatever her name is, out into the woods just so they could kill her.
Oh wow.
And when
That's dark.
Yeah, and see, whenever you watch the Blair Witch Project under that context, it makes the film so much more fucked up. Like, why
Yeah.
would that guy intentionally lose the map?
See, I thought that it was just them getting lost in the woods the whole time. Like that, I think that's the real story. Is they just got lost and went delirious because they had been out in the woods.
Which is a scary scenario, but like when you put it into the context of like, no, these guys knew what they were doing the whole
Yeah.
time. This is just a
It
methodic,
makes it way worse.
fucked up way to
Way
kill
worse.
this girl. That makes that film so much more unsettling. So I'd
Yeah.
have to either go with that because I've watched Cannibal Holocaust and that movie just sucks.
Oh,
it's just not good.
Absolute horseshit.
Because it's a fucking Italian film, so let's just have everyone speak their native language and we'll just dub it over in post and it'll look like shit and no one will care.
Fuck.
Yeah, sorry.
You went hard on that one.
I hate Cannibal Holocaust. It's a
All right.
fucking piece of shit.
Last but not least, movie with a wrestler.
Oh wow.
Oh, god damn. You're really gonna make me choose between Mr. Nanny and Blade Trinity? Movie with a wrestler, fuck. They Live.
Okay.
You gotta go with They
That
Live.
seems like that's most people's go-to is They Live.
Because it's the only good one of the bunch.
A lot of people throw out Hogan movies all the time though.
What? You got Mr. Nanny, you got No Holds Barred, and then High Noon at Mega Mountain? Like,
Like
Santa with muscles?
I get Suburban
Yeah,
Commando a
Samuel
lot.
Muscles rocks.
No, wait, fuck that. Fuck all of those that I just mentioned. Santa's Sleigh with Bill Goldberg. That is my shit.
I just watched that one
That
around
movie
Christmas time.
is fucking ridiculous because it's like, where else are you going to see Chris Kattan and Fran Drescher
The
get
whole-
murdered in an opening
The
sequence?
entire budget is in that opening sequence.
Absolutely, because the rest of it is just a
Fucking
shit heap.
whole damn thing.
Oh.
And then that fucking kid, the main kid, goes on to be in that fucking atrocious pile of shit, The Bye Bye Man.
Oh,
Goddamn, probably the worst goddamn movie I've
oh
ever
man,
watched.
but now I'm starting to think about how I kind of have a soft spot in my heart for Ready to Rumble.
Oh yeah, Ready to Rumble's good. There's a fuck ton of
I was
wrestlers.
about to
in
say,
that
there's
one.
like the entire WCW roster of 2000s.
That movie's all about wrestling.
Oh God, with fucking DDP like playing like he's like a shoot.
It's like a shitty version of itself.
And he's like a shoot villain where he's like, no, we're gonna try to kill you,
Yeah.
Oliver Platt. Mostly for Oliver Platt too in that movie is just fucking hilarious. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's just, you can tell he's like not giving a shit, but kind of giving a shit.
Yeah.
Man, Ready to Rumble.
That movie, man.
That they put the fucking belt on Arquette.
So fucking. Okay, so I didn't know this until after listening to Shivani's podcast for a minute, but apparently Bischoff was fired from WCW during this movie while this movie was
Yep.
going on. I thought he was still working there,
No.
but he was gone. And apparently the Cyrus character is just a big dig at Bischoff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything about him.
It's
is
just a
dig.
huge rib.
Yeah. And I had no fucking clue as a kid. I was just like,
Oh no, you just watch it and you're just thinking like, oh okay, Bischoff just didn't want to be in this because
Yeah.
he's already. But like, no, they're just totally taking shots
Fucking
at Bischoff
man.
the whole time.
I sat in my living room last night, and we were watching like a bunch of promos where people were shitting on Vince Russo, like not shoot interviews, like real promos, like actual TV shit. And I was like, I'll be goddamned if I sit here and listen to people badmouth Vince Russo all goddamn night.
I mean,
Which it was really it was just a sarcastic, funny remark to make my leave from the room, but it was just funny because like we literally watched one promo where it was like Tony Schiavone was when he came out on TNA and was doing his whole
yeah.
his, I call it the Edgelord Schiavone gimmick.
Yeah.
And then there was like a Flair one, and like,
dude, did you ever see the one that Piper did in TNA?
yeah, that was the second one that they played. There was
Where
that-
he's like, was it part of your storyline to kill my
Yeah,
brother Owen?
yeah,
Like,
my
dude,
cousin,
this is
he
getting
was
too
like-
fucking real.
that shit was mad real.
And it's like, I get what you're going for, but at the same time, is this really appropriate to bring up Owen Hart's death in a fucking
Get the
promo?
fuck out of here! Get out
Like,
of here!
this is a bit too much. I don't care how close to him you were. That's
I love
fucked up.
Piper to death, but that was fucked.
But that was probably Piper when he was like, hitting the blow pretty hard.
Yeah. All right, so
Allegedly, he was allegedly hitting the blow.
so that's all I got. Any Oscar predictions?
A white person will win, guaranteed.
Which reward? With any of them?
All of them, because that's pretty much all it is white people. Even though like people were like, "Dude, J-Lo got robbed."
I don't know, dude.
about.
Parasite is pretty strong
yeah.
in the runnings for
Absolutely.
Best Picture.
But everyone was acting like Jennifer Lopez got robbed because of her role in that piece of shit movie Hustlers. That movie sucked. I don't care.
I haven't
like,
seen it.
Don't watch it, dude. Unless you're like me, I watched it to see J-Lo pole dance
Yeah.
because I've had a boner for her since.
Oh,
I was like,
I'm totally gonna watch it at some point because
Absolutely.
of the amount of booty in it. Probably.
yeah, and that's the
But,
only
like,
reason to watch it, if I'm being
yeah.
completely honest, because the rest of the film has zero substance whatsoever. If anyone should have got an Oscar nomination for that, it should have been Constance Wu, because she's the main actress in it, and she's actually very good at it.
I'm surprised. Like I was looking, and I don't think Aquafina got a nomination.
No, she didn't.
And from what I understand, The Farewell is pretty fucking good.
To me, it's just like, I just have a hard time wrapping my head around the fact that someone is named after a...
Well, that's like a stage
Bottom
name. That's not her actual name.
I knew that, but it's just
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
She's like a rapper too.
Yeah, I don't know. Watch out for my new mixtape, fucking Dasani.
They're doing like a raffle at Vizart where you put in your predictions.
Yeah.
And I put in one, and today Micah, my good buddy at Vizart, told me that statistically speaking, based on the odds, the gambling odds, because he gambles on the Oscars,
Oh, God.
he said based on the gambling odds, I have the highest possibility of winning right now out of
Well, I mean,
everybody.
I mean, if you're gambling on anything else, like the Oscars, it's fucking fixed anyway. So
Yeah, right.
like the Grammys.
Well, man,
that's a different podcast.
yeah. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, dude.
Now let's watch some fucking movies.
Cool.
Well, it looks like you survived. This time, come back next week. See if you can do it again. There'll be more thrills and chills awaiting on Marcel's Spooky Madness.